Hi, my name is Theresa. I'm from wingsoflighthealingarts.com, and I'm here to talk about ringing in the ears. So, if you're new here, welcome, and welcome back if you're my subscribers or if you've been here before. So, I've been asked a really important question, and that's about ringing in the ears. Now, this is different from tinnitus. Tinnitus is when, say, you've been to a concert and it's live and you forgot your earplugs and you have this reverberating in your ears and it's loud and it's uncomfortable. That's something that'll go on for hours. Usually it's gone by the time you wake up if it's not permanent damage to your hearing. It's totally different though. It sounds different from the psychic toning. So here's what I can tell you about the psychic toning from my own personal knowledge. And it's really exciting to get to share this with you, because when I was experiencing it, I had to learn on my own. And so I'm happy to provide you with the tools of understanding that I've been given from spirit, okay? There's benefits to not having human support because you end up having to establish your connection really strong with spirit. And I now understand it because I'm able to help you. So here's how it works. Whenever I hear a tone, now these psychic tones are going to be shorter. They're like just a couple of minutes, sometimes a couple of seconds. And the main thing to pay attention to, if you've got a high tone or a low tone or anything in between, pay attention to how it makes you feel. Pay attention to your emotions. Because some are going to make you feel really happy and some are going to make you feel not so happy. Some may make you feel agitated and some just may be downright shocking. And that's okay. That's something to pay attention to. So what's happening is a couple of different things. Something is trying to get your attention. Usually it's spirit, your angels, your I am presence is trying to get your attention. Don't feel fearful about this. You happen to have complete control over whether or not you hear these tones. If it's bothering you, all you have to do is tell them two things. Either, if you like hearing them, you can ask them, okay, tone it down. Sometimes that's too loud because they don't know. That's the crazy thing. They don't know what's too loud for us, okay? Just like when Mikhail's around, he can't tell when it's too intense or when it's too hot. So Jax is here again, my cat. So, hi. So here's the thing. So the first thing is to ask, okay, can you tone it down a little bit? Can you turn down the volume? That's if you want to hear them. I personally asked for the majority of the tones to be turned off. I would rather hear in a different way because this is a form of clairaudience. And at times it was upsetting some of the things that I was hearing. So I said, okay, deliver the messages in another way. So if that's something that you would prefer, sorry, he really wants to be here. If that's something that you would prefer, you have complete control over your gifts. And you can say to them, hey, I turn the gifts off, or you can say, let me know in another way that's less disruptive. So I personally hear differently now. Since it tends to, you'll hear the tones when you're first starting to develop. It is 333. Which is the Ascended Masters number. You can call on them for help, by the way, with this. 9 times out of 10, when you're first starting to get used to hearing this is your clairaudience opening up. And so this is what they'll play with is your tones. It'll go from tones and then to actually hearing their words. And it has to do with the clearing with the ear chakras, okay? So here's what's going on. When you happen to have the really high tones, those tend to make you feel better. They don't tend to be too intense. I haven't had a high tone that has really hurt my ears. Typically, what is happening with me is a couple of different things. They're trying to get your attention, like I mentioned before. Usually it's your angels or your guides or your I am presence. And they're either delivering upgrades, which is like upgrades in frequency, upgrades to your ascension codes, upgrades to your DNA, upgrades to, light codes, frequency, DNA, all of that, okay? Those are things that you're not going to logically understand. And that's okay. Just accept that it's really something wonderful and you're like, thank you, angels, this is fabulous. There's another form of meaning where what has happened with me specifically, if I hear something really high and I have an emotional response to it, I know two things. Somebody is saying something really nice about me, and I can hear it. And then the other thing is something really good is about to happen. That's how I know. This is the other thing. When I happen to hear low tones, depending on how loud it is, that'll determine just how loud someone else is talking about me. So if somebody is really angry with me or upset with me in some way, or and they're talking about me, I will hear it in a low tone. And sometimes if they're really mad, it will be so intense that it's like, whoa. Like where, we've all heard it where when sound is too loud and somebody's talking in your ear and you almost pass out, like you come out of your body for a split second. That's what it'll sound like. I had that happen back December of last year, and that's why I asked Spirit. I said, enough of that. I don't need to know when somebody's upset with me about something. I don't need to know about it. So I have turned that off. Since then, my clairaudience has gotten a lot stronger, and I can physically hear words, just like it's just outside of my ear. So that's basically what it means. So just to recap, it's a form of clairaudience. It's a form of psychic. It is either your angels and guides trying to get your attention and giving you messages and saying, okay, here's something you could potentially react really well to, and it's a high tone, or here's something you could potentially react badly to, which means in a negative manner. So sometimes when they're trying to tell me, hey, it's not a good idea, we're trying to get you out of an anger pattern, and this was about 3 years ago. You got to stop reacting in anger. We need you to start reacting in love because you were here to embody unconditional love. And I said, okay. They said, we're going to start giving you tones so that you will be given advance notice of about 15 minutes prior to an event that might be upsetting. And I said, okay. And they said, we need you to keep your cool. Cool, I can do that. Well, sometimes I wasn't able to. So then the tones, when they were low, I didn't like the sound of them. So I switched and I talked to them. I said, give me numbers. So they would give me numbers. So I would see 5 or 555, or I would know that I would potentially react to something very shortly if it was like 6 5s in a row, like 555, 555. I've seen that. And I panicked, and there was something that happened. There's certain foods I can't eat for biological reasons. And I was warned. I had, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There were 10 5s in a row. So I knew it wasn't going to be pretty. We were going to a new restaurant, and I asked for a vegetarian meal, and they threw pork in there. I can't have pork. I never have since I was little. And that's something else we should talk about is diet, because once your body gets to a certain frequency, food frequencies won't be able to be compatible with yours. So you're going to start having digestive issues, migraines, all kinds of stuff due to the frequency of the food. And pork happens to be a very low frequency food. I'm sorry if you like bacon. So I love the smell of it. I haven't had it since I was about 10. But basically, I was happy to be forewarned, but yeah, I didn't react well to that. But the point is, now I'm fine with it. And I'm finally at a point where when I see the numbers instead of hearing the tones, I'm in much more of a love place, much more of a place of acceptance, and don't have an emotional reaction of feeling like I'm helpless and I'm not in control. I hope that makes sense to you. So that's essentially what they're trying to get you to do. We are all, as twin flames, being asked to embody unconditional love. So you may watch some of these patterns, okay? You may notice it too, that you'll hear the high tones and about 15 minutes later they'll tell you something. You may hear the low tones and 15 minutes later an event occurs that you could potentially normally be patterned for reacting in a way that doesn't serve you or the situation. Okay, so I hope that's really helpful. Thank you to those that have asked the question. I read all of your comments below, so make sure if you have a question or something you would like a video done on, ask me below, because chances are somebody else has asked the same question and it might be a nudge for me, you know, from spirit to go ahead and do it, which is what happened today. Yeah, that's basically it. So awesome. I hope that's helpful. Again, if you've got questions, put it in the comments below and I'll be happy to clarify that for you. If there's something you would further like clarity on, you know, on the journey or anything about your spiritual gifts, be in touch. Okay. Thanks you guys. Lots of love. Bye.